thinks life is going to somehow throw this magical event on them, and they're going to either win the $1 million jackpot or become on the front page in the headlines in the newspapers and the news. And that simply is not the case. More often than not, people are going to be mediocre. It's a mediocrity out of the sake of comfortability rather than chasing, exploring their options, committing to something, and going against the grain. So, an FTE is termed by author and entrepreneur MJ DeMarco. He wrote a book called The Millionaire Fast Lane, but he also wrote another book around 2017, 2018 called Unscripted. Now, Unscripted was written on the basis of the idea of this magical script. Now, for people who know about Andrew Tate, which is pretty obvious, he was the most Googled man, for example, last year. For most people that know Andrew Tate, this is referred to as the Matrix. But the script is this imposed structural way of life, whether it's from your teachers, the government, the media, everything you consume on the news, even Facebook, Instagram, Google ads, for example, they cater to what you're thinking about. Now, of course, I could be overthinking, but this is something that has crossed pretty much everybody's minds. But the point is the script is something that is very real, even imposed by your parents, for example. But the whole point of the FTE is what breaks you out of that mediocrity. Now, mediocrity is best described as comfortability because you're not pushing yourself into your dreams or you're out of your comfort zone and you're just not chasing your purpose to your true, authentic, full self. Now, if you want to escape that mediocrity, it boils down to two things. Either A, escaping that comfort zone and chasing after your purpose and your dreams, or B, falling into a state where it sucks a little too much and you got to escape it. So option A is something that not many people do because their life is comfortable. What's the need to try to actually go better? Your job pays you just enough to where it pays your bills, gets you what you need, pays your car, pays your gas, pays your food. It's just enough to where it's good. But any less, it would suck. That one single event that will tip you over and make you realize that, you got to push yourself. Life's too short. But oftentimes people get too comfortable. And for instance, for example, it's just unheard of. No one's comfortable. And then they say to themselves, I'm going to push myself. There's always an event leading up to that change, that mental switch, right? For example, David Goggins, he was 300 pounds, spraying cockroaches, making minimum wage. And that was a turning point for him. That was his FTE. My FTE was 2 years ago. So for context, FTE stands for fuck that event. Now, I actually waited 15 seconds before to say, fuck that event because YouTube doesn't like it when you say that word 15 seconds into the video. So anyways, fuck that event is just the event that breaks you. And most often than not, a lot of people think they experience it, but that's not the case because they revert back to their old mannerisms, their own internal way of thinking, and it just doesn't work out for them. So mine was 2 years ago, and damn, 2021 first half was rough. But I'm not gonna go into that to do too much detail, but just being stuck on a ship, lockdowns. This was during the global illness going on, school failures, girl problems, you name it. So there came a point after school failure where I was like, you know what? I'm trying so hard, and I'm not getting the respect or the recognition. What's something I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to hit the gym, get big, but I've always been scared. And I've always been just comfortable with what I was doing at the time. Now, at the time, I was running. I was running about 40 miles a week, competitively. So I was good. I was good at that sport. But I wasn't well respected. So I was like, okay, I want to get my strength up. And it just never crossed my mind until all these events happened. It was the last event where I said, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's exactly what happened. So more often than not, most people don't experience this FTE, this fuck that event, but that's all right because if you live the way you currently live and just out of mediocrity, comfortability, it's bound to happen eventually. Or unless you just revert to unhealthy coping mechanisms that in turn make it more comfortable for you, but ever so slightly in the back of your brain, you're telling yourself, this sucks. So you have a choice. A, embrace the sucky moment and convert to healthy coping mechanisms. Or B, be fine with where you're at. Realize that, damn, it sucks, but that's all right. I'm going to play video games to get it off my mind, or I'm going to go to the bar to get it off my mind. Sooner or later, more and more sucky events are going to happen, and you're not going to have the mental strength to effectively combat it. So obviously, a fuck that event has transformed many people's lives, including author MJ DeMarco, which if you haven't read this book, go check it out. It's on Amazon. It's like $15. And the chapter I'm referring to right now is actually chapter 14. So you can check it out himself. Now, MJ DeMarco, he's a millionaire, tech millionaire startup. He actually didn't come from wealth. He was like 26, 27 years old, went to college, got in debt, got a shitty degree that didn't amount to anything, got a job driving limousine cabs in Chicago, waking up at 5 a.m. every morning. And I think, if I remember correctly, his fuck that event was sitting in the cafe before work, 5 a.m., cold winter morning, and seeing everybody march to work. Lifeless expressions, lifeless faces. But truth is, each person is an individual person. Which is funny because everyone likes to throw on this term nowadays, NPC, that's an NPC. No, every person is a person, whether you like to think about it or not. Now, I think what people would rather argue for a valid argument is that those people have just seem to have given up chasing their dreams. And there will come a point to where realize that their dreams aren't going to come true. Or B, they're going to realize there's a chance. There's a chance it'll come true. And as I said before, FTE might not just be one singular event, but a series of events chaining into each other like a domino reaction, right? So more often than not, they're not going to experience that. And even if they do, they might not have the willpower to just fully convert, or at least stick through. But for the most part, if you do experience an FTE, you will prevail and you will get through it. I mean, for example, look at MJ DeMarco, look at David Goggins. Look at myself, for example. I know I'm not that well known, but if you check out other stuff that I posted, you'll get some context. But anyways, that's the importance of an FTE. Throw yourself in uncomfortable situations, and if the shit keeps knocking, revert to the healthy coping mechanisms, or at least revert to a healthy way of understanding that, damn, this sucks, but it can be better, as opposed to, damn, this sucks. Let me do the thing that will feel good now, but make my life suck even more later. So, that being said, thanks for watching. Definitely check out Unscripted by MJ DeMarco. It's a good read. I'm just about almost halfway through it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Check out some other videos, and peace. All you see is motherfuckers steady toe tagging, bitch, I'm backing up the dope, no ratting to the boat, acting like we shot.